Welcome back to another video. And on today's video, guys, I am going to be doing sort of like a ranking. I'll explain in a little bit of my anticipated movies for 2024. So before I get onto this video, make sure you stay tuned because I have 3 movies that I'm going to be watching next week, and hopefully I can watch them all in one weekend. But it's going to be Dumb Money, Saw X, and The Creator. So we have 3 potential movie reviews for that weekend, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And if you have any video ideas, as always, please let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to hear them. With that being said, I guess let's just get straight onto this video. I sort of came up with this video off the fly after kind of just skimming through and looking at some of the upcoming movies coming in 2024, and there was a lot more of them that already that I want to see than I initially expected. So I kind of just put a list down. This isn't in any particular order of excitement or anything like that. I'm just going to go down this list of movies that I found that I am anticipating for 2024. And obviously these are subject to change with the writer strikes going on. There have been a ton of movie delays and show delays and everything like that. So it's really no guarantee that any of these movies could come out within the next year. But hopefully, because I would really, really like to see them. But yeah, obviously, you know, this is not a guarantee. But I'm doing this video anyway because I told you guys I am in search for doing some more ranking videos and things like that. I know there is a ton that I could do on this channel that I have just not done yet. And especially with October coming up and hopefully more horror content and things like that, I would like to start trying to do some more rankings. So it probably would have made more sense to do this video later on in the year, maybe at the ending of the year before 2024. But either way, I'm going to do it anyway, so let's just freaking get it over with. First one that I found, which really, really surprised me, and a lot of these did surprise me, honestly, but the first one that I did not expect at all was they are planning to make a sequel for, I guess, you know, it's already been announced and things like that, but there is supposed to be a sequel coming out next year for the original Twister movie that came out in 1996, I believe. It was about like a group of storm chasers who were going after this tornado. And I just know that I always really liked that movie because I know that, like, the filming locations, I am pretty sure I have actually been to the filming locations before. They are not too far from where I live. So I just always thought that was pretty interesting. And so I'm really looking forward to checking this movie out. I want to see what they do with it. It is called Twisters, so that's a pretty clever name for it. But yeah, I guess we'll just have to see what happens when that comes closer. I believe it is scheduled to release sometime next summer. Next movie on my list, which I'm sure a lot of you already probably know about, is Deadpool 3. And honestly, I'm not even that big of a Deadpool fan. I know that a lot of people really love him, mostly because they love Ryan Reynolds, they love his humor and things like that. And yes, I will agree that Deadpool is a very, very funny character. I think he gives a much-needed comedic relief in the X-Men movies. Now, you know, it could completely change with what they're doing with Marvel. I don't even know at this point. But all I know is that I'm just really excited to see Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine in the full-on Wolverine outfit, fighting alongside Deadpool. I think that's just going to be super fun to watch. We kind of got, like, bits and pieces of it with, like, I believe it was, like, X-Men Origins or something like Wolverine Origins or something like that. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've watched that movie, and I just know that it was not very good. And it was, like, Wade Wilson. It wasn't Deadpool. It was just, like, the character of Deadpool, but not in the actual outfit. And I'm not even sure that he was, like, fighting alongside Wolverine in that movie. I'm pretty sure they were actually fighting against each other. So I think it's just really going to be, really cool to see both of them fighting against each other, or not fighting alongside each other in this movie. I just think it's going to be entertaining as hell. And, you know, a lot of people have already seen, like, behind-the-scenes pictures and things like that, and it just looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. So that's why I'm super excited for this movie, because I'm a big fan of Hugh Jackman and specifically him as Wolverine. I always loved him as Wolverine. Next up, we got another one that you guys probably know about, Beetlejuice 2. So I really, really liked the original Beetlejuice. I know a lot of people like it. Obviously, it's got Michael Keaton starring as Beetlejuice, and then you also have Alec Baldwin. That's right. Struggling to remember there, but I'm not asking for this movie to be, sort of be a, a recall or whatever, Scream likes to call it, where they bring back the original characters and things like that. I really want this movie to try something different. I know that Jenna Ortega is going to be in it. She is the girl who dressed up in, all black in the movie, Lydia. She's going to be her daughter in this movie, I guess. So, that'll be sort of interesting. As of right now, we don't really, there's obviously not a trailer out for it. It's not scheduled to release all the way until September of next year. Whenever the trailer comes out, I'm sure that there will be a lot of excitement for it. I really hope that they try something new and they don't just go for bringing back all the original actors and just, basically repeating the same story from last time. I really hope that they try something different here. I really liked the original Beetlejuice movie. Obviously, it's a very, very iconic movie. Really, really excited for that. Next up on the list, we got Inside Out 2. So there is a plan for, or why do I keep saying plan? Inside Out 2 is scheduled to release next June, I am pretty sure. And I really, really liked the first Inside Out movie. I know that Disney gets a lot of crap, especially more modern Disney movies. I guess Inside Out, it isn't really that new anymore. It came out in 2015, I believe. So it isn't really that new anymore, but I just know that the first Inside Out was a really, really great movie. It just shows that Disney definitely has the capacity to make really great stories, but what they're doing right now with just, doing the same thing and just making live action remakes and things like that of original Disney movies that shouldn't be touched in the first place is just not working for them. So I think that they just need to make original stories because they are very, very well in the capacity of being able to do that, but they are always, they're always focused on the political side of it if they do make a new story, or they're just focused on making a live action remake. And they just need to make a good original Disney story that isn't focused on politics so much and just focused on having a good children's story. And so hopefully this won't be a disappointment. Hopefully it will be even better than the first Inside Out movie, which I think is going to be pretty hard to do. But I'm curious to see what they're going to try to do with this sequel. We'll see what happens. Next up, we got Mission Impossible 8, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 2, whatever you want to call it. I like I said when I did my Mission Impossible review, I am not somebody who has followed the Mission Impossible franchise for the extent that it has been out. I'm not somebody. I haven't even watched the ones before Dead Reckoning Part 1. All I know is that Dead Reckoning Part 1 was really, really enjoyable. I really, really liked it. Unfortunately, it got overshadowed by a lot of movies at the time, but hopefully Dead Reckoning Part 2 will be even better, so I'm really excited to see the second half of this story. Then we got a kind of a controversial one, because this movie gets so much hate, and I really don't understand why people are so mad at this movie, but I just have to do it. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2. So obviously, people were really, really mad at this movie, and they're even more mad that there is going to be a sequel to this movie. But honestly, I'm going to see it. I might as well see it. I watched the first one. It was a once in a lifetime opportunity, honestly, because it did not play in very many theaters, and there was only one showing on one day for this movie. And I went to see it, and honestly, I had a lot of fun. I went with a lot of different people, a few of my friends, a few of my family members, and it was just, obviously it's not a good movie. Everybody knows that, but I thought it was still fun. It was entertaining. I don't feel like I wasted my money, but there are so many people out there who are just like, the Winnie the Pooh directors are scam artists or whatever, and they scammed a bunch of people, and shame on them because now they made a bunch of money and now they're able to make a sequel because they got even more money. Like, I don't know. Was this more on the lazier end of movies that know that they're not necessarily good, but try to just embrace the how do you want to say it, the bizarreness of the movie? Yes, it is kind of on the lazier end. I can definitely see that. But would I call the directors scam artists, like they were just stealing money out of people's pockets with this movie? No. Because if any of you guys who are mad truly walked into this movie thinking it was going to be good, I mean, you're just stupid. This movie was not going to be good. Everybody knew watching the trailer that this was a ridiculous concept, but went into it anyway because they were just really, really curious, and now they're screaming at the directors. I just don't get it. I'm still going to watch this movie, though, because I just want to see if this can outdo itself. I think it'll be funny to see. Next up, we got Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Obviously, at the ending of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, it was announced that our next villain was going to be Shadow, and that is obviously really, really exciting. I think the first two Sonic movies were very, very good. They did a very, very good job, and I'm really excited to see a different villain for once, because it was, I think it was Dr. Eggman, or whatever his name is, Robotnik, for the first two movies, and now we're finally getting a different villain in this one with Shadow, so I'm really excited to see what they're going to do there. Next up, we got Despicable Me 4. DreamWorks knows where the money is at, and that is in the Minions, and so, you can't blame them for making, yet again, another Despicable Me movie, but I think it only makes sense because they made Minions: The Rise of Gru, and, there was obviously more to the story, as you saw from the ending of that movie, and so natural thing is now to make another Despicable Me movie. So they kind of go back and forth with the Despicable Me and Minions movies now, so I think that's, not a bad strategy. Yeah, I'm not like a super fan of Minions or anything like that, but I think it'll still be enjoyable. I don't think there's any one bad Minions movie out there. So yeah, excited to see that. Next one is perhaps my most anticipated movie of next year, which I completely did not expect at all. It is Return to Silent Hill. Yes, they are making a new Silent Hill movie. If you guys don't know, they did make two Silent Hill movies about like 15 years ago, 16 years ago, something like that. And they were not good. Silent Hill is obviously not known for their movies. They are known it is known for its video games, which are probably some of the most acclaimed horror video games out there. And I'm really excited to see this. I hope it is better than the two Silent Hill movies that we got all those years back. And also, it's supposed to be based off of the Silent Hill 2 video game, which obviously has the iconic Pyramid Head in it. So hopefully we get a lot of him in this movie, and not like with Silent Hill Revelations, and I think like maybe one scene in the first one, where we get just little cameos of Pyramid Head throughout. I really hope that they put him front and center. It's kind of this similar situation with the Hellraiser movies, where they put Pinhead on the back burner for some reason, and a lot of the sequels and things like that they're not even really fair to call them sequels, for whatever reason, and don't make him the main character. Like, he's kind of the guy that everybody is here for, and for some reason they just throw little bits and pieces in here. So I really hope that they don't do this in this movie, and I'm really excited for it. Hopefully it will be a good breath of fresh air, although, video game adaptations historically are not the best. So I'm pretty optimistic about this movie, so hopefully it does not disappoint. Next up, we got Venom 3, which I'm pretty sure is supposed to be a sort of like a part 2 or a sequel to Venom Let There Be Carnage. So maybe this means we'll get more Carnage. Maybe the hour and a half movie that we got out of the first one was, maybe it was short for a reason. Maybe there is more to see with Carnage. I really hope that that's the case, because I really don't think that we got enough of him, and I really hope they go all out in this movie if that is the case. So yeah, pretty excited for that. Next up, we got another video game adaptation, Borderlands. So, I'm not a huge Borderlands fan. I've only played, like, one of the games a little bit, and I thought it was pretty fun. So, you know, I think really this just comes down to, I've heard of the name before, I played a little bit of the game, so I'm kind of excited to see what they're going to do there. I think it'll be a fun movie. There is potential that it will be bad, though, with, like, you know, maybe the costume designs or, you know, whatever, the concept and things like that. I'm curious to see what they're going to do with it. I think it'll be very, very interesting. Next up, we got Transformers 1. At this point, I'm just naming movies that, you know, I'm just familiar with, and they're sequels to movies that I've watched. So I'm not, like, super excited about this movie or whatever. The Transformers Rise of the Beast, are the last Transformers movie. Not the greatest. I think it was a pretty good balance between the Michael Bay over-the-top action and then kind of the more character-focused themes of Bumblebee. But it wasn't the greatest Transformers movie out there, so I don't know. We'll see. I kind of just threw it on there, though, because, you know, obviously I'm familiar with the Transformers franchise. Most people are. And then the last one, which is a big question mark because it already has been delayed, Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. I really hope that it will come out sometime next year because I don't want to wait super long for it. But with the sounds of it, with, you know, the VFX artists and the writer strikes and, you know, all the stuff that we've heard about this movie, I don't think they're even close to finishing this movie yet. So I think it's highly unlikely, but I threw it on there anyway, just to mention it. So yeah, those are the movies that I am anticipating for 2024. Like I said, any of these are scheduled to change. All of them could potentially be pushed back till next year, but I really hope that that isn't the case. But as of right now, these are the movies that I really, really want to see in 2024. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Throw any that I didn't mention in the comment section. Maybe I didn't hear about it yet, and you guys know about it, so I would really like to hear it. Also, throw in any video ideas in the comment section down below. I'm open to hearing any video ideas that you have. And I will try to take any of them into consideration. And stay tuned. We got 3 potential movie reviews coming out next weekend. So stay tuned. And I think that's all I have for you guys. So like and subscribe, guys. And I will see you next time.